Narcissistic managers often seem charming, but beneath the surface, they're driven by a need for admiration and a lack of empathy. They treat team members as tools for their own ambitions, not as people. This leads to high turnover, low morale, and a toxic work culture. Early warning signs include taking credit for others' work, shifting blame, public shaming, and playing favorites. These behaviors are calculated to maintain control and keep employees off balance. The result: anxiety, isolation, and eroded trust among colleagues. Employees become hesitant to share ideas, fearing criticism or theft of credit. The constant stress can lead to burnout and a desire to leave. This isn't just bad management, it's workplace abuse. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to protecting yourself and your team. It's not about diagnosing someone, it's about identifying consistent, damaging behaviors. Teams must acknowledge the reality. This is a leader who operates by different rules where empathy is absent and self-interest rules. The OODA Loop, Observe, Orient, Decide, Act, offers a way for teams to defend against manipulative managers. Originally a military strategy, it helps teams move from reactive to proactive. First, observe. Watch for patterns like credit stealing, gaslighting, and shifting expectations. Document everything. Next, orient. Analyze the data together. What motivates the manager? Who are your allies? What are your team's strengths? This phase builds a clear map of the situation and prevents isolation. Then, decide. Agree on a unified strategic response, like insisting on written communication or using neutral language. Finally, support each other in meetings, back up colleagues, and create a paper trail. Actions can be as simple as redirecting a conversation or as formal as presenting evidence to HR. The OODA Loop empowers teams to disrupt the manager's cycle of abuse. It transforms subjective frustration into objective collective action. By cycling through these steps together, teams regain control. The key is unity and consistency. This approach turns defense into strategy. Narcissistic managers use predictable tactics, but the OODA Loop helps teams counter them. For gaslighting, rely on documentation. When reality is denied, calmly reference meeting notes or emails. For sabotage, like withheld information, formalize all communications and use shared project tools to create transparency. If public shaming occurs, teammates can redirect the conversation and support the targeted colleague, diffusing the attack. When credit is stolen, make contributions visible, send group updates, copy stakeholders, and ensure names are on reports. These actions make it harder for the manager to manipulate or claim sole credit. The team's collective, strategic response breaks the cycle of abuse. Each tactic is met with a planned, unified countermeasure. The OODA Loop isn't just theory, it's a practical shield. It turns the manager's own predictability into a weakness. By acting together, teams protect each other and their work. The result is a more resilient, empowered team. Toxic tactics lose their power when faced with unity and preparation. Here's how one marketing team used the OODA Loop to protect themselves. Their director was charming but manipulative, playing favorites, shifting deadlines, and blaming the team for failures. Morale was low, and people were quitting. The turning point came when a team member introduced the OODA Loop. They started logging every incident in a shared document: credit theft, contradictory instructions, public shaming. Patterns emerged, confirming the problem was real and systematic. They mapped their allies and strengths, realizing their best asset was their high-quality work and data-driven results. The team agreed on a new protocol. All requests had to be in writing, and weekly reports were sent to key stakeholders. In meetings, they supported each other, calmly redirecting conversations when someone was targeted. The director's tactics began to fail. He couldn't shift blame or steal credit with a clear paper trail. The team's unity and strategy protected them and restored their confidence. They turned a toxic environment into a space of collaboration and focus. While the OODA Loop empowers teams, lasting change requires systemic safeguards. Companies need leadership training that covers personality disorders and manipulation. HR must provide safe, confidential channels for reporting abuse, and take complaints seriously. Anonymous 360-degree feedback makes it harder to ignore patterns of toxic behavior. Most importantly, organizations must build a culture of psychological safety, where employees can speak up without fear. This culture, modeled by senior leaders, is the best defense against narcissistic managers. When trust and respect are core values, toxic tactics fail. Ultimately, the power to create change starts with the team. By observing, orienting, deciding, and acting together, teams reclaim control. They send a clear message: we protect each other, and we won't be divided. With unity and strategy, even the most toxic manager can be outmaneuvered.